didn't recoup when times were good. Times were good, and we, as a people, could have had the revenue from when times were good. And it's a simplistic way of saying it, but that's what we're left with now. We don't have a situation like they have in Norway, where their sovereign wealth fund from their oil deposits has made guarantees against, fluctuations in oil prices and, God help them, the end of their oil reserves. We gave that opportunity up. I mean, we're essentially, if all we're doing is thinking in economic terms about iron ore prices, we really should nationalise Gina Rinehart and declare her a national treasure and take the wealth that could have come to us from the
Spoken like a true Marxist.
No, this is not a question of Marxism. This is a question of fair taxation. And if we're talking about
I think nationalising Gina Rinehart probably is a question
I'm being facetious to illustrate a point.
Okay,
the point is that we had an opportunity and we lost it.
Right.
And if we're looking for guarantees within the economy and genuine reform, we have to look at taxation fairness. In the news today, Rupert Murdoch, $4.5 billion.
OK, we'll come to that in a minute, Van, but I want to hear from Kelly O'Dwyer. We're running out of time for our questions, and so I'll ask everyone just to keep their answers a little shorter.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
Look, I'll be brief in response to Patrick's question. I think the first point to make here is that we were talking earlier about austerity, and when austerity hits, it hurts. And it hurts some of the most vulnerable people in our communities. We never want to get to a situation in Australia where we are bringing in austerity measures. The Reserve Bank Governor has warned, as Michael has said, has warned over many hearings of the House Standing Committee on Economics that we're on the wrong path. We're on the wrong trajectory at the moment. We are spending far more than we bring in, and it's not simply a matter of our income dropping. It is also because we exponentially increased spending in this country, and we did it at an unsustainable level. And at the moment, if we were to continue on the path that we were left when we first came into government, net debt to GDP would have, over the next 40 years, as evidenced by the intergenerational report, would have blown out to around about 122%. Now, it's not Greece. Greece is 171%, but it's double that of Spain. Now, if we continue on the path that we've currently got at the moment, where we have reduced some spending, but it is still growing. It is still growing. We're not paying back debt yet. If we go along the path that we have legislated in the Senate, we are going to hit Spain levels, Italy and Spain levels of around about 60% of net debt to GDP. Michael makes a good point before, which is
does that mean the logic of that would be you're going to have a very, very tough budget?
The logic of
coming
that
means,
up in May. No, the logic of that means
dull,
that
tough
we need
budget. It's apparently going to be dull and tough.
The logic is that we need to have a sensible adult conversation about what we are spending on, what our priorities are as a nation, and we also need to have a sensible discussion about how revenue is raised.
Will you have that discussion before the budget or after?
Well, we're going to continue to have that.
Because it sounds like the budget is not going to be tough anymore because you've been scared off having tough budgets.
Well, no, I mean, you asked the question before, Tony, when you bring about reform, do you do that overnight or do you have a proper conversation about it? Clearly, you need to have a proper conversation about it. That's what the intergenerational report is all about. It's about setting the framework to have this discussion because we know there are going to be increased pressures on the budget. And the tax discussion paper is also an opportunity to look at how we can increase and grow our economy.
Okay.